Well, hi there, this is Mark Ittleman, speech-language pathologist, and I've got another video that I want to share with you. If that's all right with you. This is about the subject of aphasia, and aphasia is like the weather. That's the title of this video. Aphasia is like the weather. Well, you might be saying, oh my goodness, Mark, come on, will you get off it? What the heck do you mean by aphasia is like the weather? Well, one of the things that I've learned from working with aphasia with people who have it for like 46 years now is that the symptoms of aphasia and the response to aphasia with speech therapy varies greatly. And even after months or even years of speech therapy, there are some days when people with aphasia have a lot more difficulty talking. And then there are days when that are great, that their speech is really terrific. And then there are others, one gentleman I work with, whenever it rains, his speech becomes worse. And then the rain goes away, and then his speech gets better. So one of the things we know about aphasia and aphasia treatment and aphasia carryover and aphasia improvement is that it changes over time. It just doesn't all of a sudden get better. It gets better, but sometimes it gets better for a while, and then you might have a day when it's not so good, and then the next day it's terrific. So that's one of the things that you need to be aware of, that aphasia and the response to speaking and the response to aphasia therapy can vary from day to day, and that your ability to speak varies from day to day if you have aphasia. Well, it's kind of like all of us. Have you ever wakened on a particular morning and you just had this feeling that maybe your day wasn't going to go so well, or maybe you went to work and you were kind of foggy, or you were tired, or you just had a disagreement with somebody at home or a friend, and you got to work and it just wasn't your day, It happened to me last week. I was working on my new book, and this is a book for Aphasia, and it's almost done. And so I had a discussion with somebody that when I was done with it, I wasn't feeling very empowered. In fact, I was just kind of upset. And we all get that way. I was kind of upset, and I was also kind of, and then I got anxious about it. So I was working at Starbucks on my book, and all of a sudden I couldn't write anymore. I'd written like about 20 pages, and I always like to do a certain number of pages every day, but I couldn't write anymore. And then I decided, well, I'll do something else. So I opened up another window in my computer and started to work on it, and that didn't work so well either. It's just all of a sudden my brain went, I don't want to, So this is a normal occurrence for all of us. There are certain days that we have great days, and there are certain things sometimes that occur in our day that can throw us out of equilibrium. And if we're thrown out of equilibrium, then sometimes the day doesn't go so well. So this message is especially for caregivers and even therapists, because a lot of them don't really understand why that those with aphasia, sometimes they have days that are really good where their speech is really good, and others when it's not. Well, it depends on how they're feeling on a particular day. It depends on if they're rested. It depends if they're anxious. It depends if they've had a disagreement with somebody. It depends, on so many factors. It depends on how much ice cream you may have had, or how much sugar you may have consumed, or how much alcohol you may have had, or how much sleep you had, or it's so, there's so many variables to it. But just know not to expect and not to formulate any conclusions on those days when you're not at your best, whether you're a caregiver or one with aphasia. This is Mark Ittleman, speech-language pathologist, talking about aphasia, and talking about how sometimes aphasia is like the weather. Sometimes we can say some of our relationships are like the weather too. Have you ever noticed that? That there are some people that we have relationships with that sometimes, they're really good, and sometimes they're not so good. So it's something normal that we all experience. So this is Mark Ittleman. We are in Las Vegas right now, and we're going to be giving an aphasia seminar very, very shortly, in just a couple of weeks, and we have some people signed up who are coming out to Las Vegas. And then right after we do the Las Vegas seminar, which is at the end of March, we go to Houston in April, and we're going to be having an intensive seminar in apraxia and an intensive apraxia in aphasia. So down below this video are a bunch of links. One is to get on our mailing list. One is to go to our website. Another one is to be on our Facebook page. Gosh, there are a bunch of links. One is to a questionnaire if you want to speak with me personally. One is there are just a bunch of them. Just look down below, and there'll be plenty of them to look at and to consider if you're a caregiver or if you're an individual with aphasia and you are looking for some expert advice and some help. This is Mark Ittleman. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you like this video, and we hope to see you soon. Bye-bye now.